Hello, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome back to GhOstMaiN Reacts. Today we're going to react to Mr. Who's the Boss. I bought the laziest tech ever. Interesting. And also please subscribe to Mr. Who's the Boss and subscribe to me. Hope you guys enjoy this reaction.
This is the Posher cooking robot. And apparently, if I select a meal,
robot.
paneer tikka masala, I can customize it to my taste preferences, so very spicy. If I hit start cooking, this is going to do everything for me. Whoa! It's flinging in the main ingredients as and when they're needed. The pan here is going to cook the food, and this top section will even drizzle in the water and oil and sprinkle in the spices and salt at the perfect times, using a camera that is watching the meal come together and using AI to understand what it's looking at. So, let's come back later to find out if I'm ever going to need to cook anything again. I have just spent $8,000 buying the laziest tech on the internet to find out just how much effort is possible to save us. Gadgets that cook for you, but also gadgets that clean for you, iron your clothes for you, change your bins for you, make your bed for you, and even ones that blow for you. I'm talking about the Nekojita Fufu, a robotic cat that blows on your food and drinks to cool them down. So tea goes into these two glasses, and now both of these are at 72.2 degrees C right now. You get a fufu. It's actually quite good design. The cat organically fastens itself around the rim of your cup. So let's see how much of a difference it makes. So it's trying to mimic the way that a human blows on their food by using a small fan on the inside that comes on and off at random intervals. Gotta say, the thing is adorable, but I'm still astounded that it has raised over $100,000 on Kickstarter. That there are thousands of people who actually want to pay for a whole separate gadget that they have to store somewhere to...
You say that small thing's over $100,000?
To perform a role that is very rarely needed, and even when it is, could also be achieved by just waiting for another 90 seconds. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, and there is less than a 4 degrees difference between the two. So, on the effort saved scale, Fufu blows 10%, if that. Then how about spending $100 on the couch console to combat the tiresome hassle of leaning forward? So this is designed to keep all the stuff that you might want to have with you while you're on the couch organized, but with one extra special feature. A self-balancing gimbal cup holder. So it's using some sort of metal counterweight at the bottom to keep your drink upright, even if you rotate the tray. To up the stakes here, I should probably open the drinks. Sparkling water. Oh yeah, that works great. Normal size drinks can. Yeah, it just about fits. I don't love the push you have to do every time you want to put it back. Oh, the tea from earlier. Okay, that's too girthy. But that's not the only thing it does. It is also modular. So for example, this is a phone holder and a tray for your remotes, which you can also add an anti-slip mat to. To be fair, it does actually keep your remote just as planted as your drink. Then, flip the thing over, it's an armrest. Or, let's say I don't fully finish my snacks one evening, and this spacer over here becomes your lid. Kind of. It's not very well fitting, to be honest. The strangest thing, though, has to be this USB-C port, which means if you've got a power bank, you can put it into this compartment and use another USB-C cable to then power your phone via the console. But that just feels like such a clunky way to manage the battery of your phone that still doesn't even save you having to have a cable trailing around. So would I keep this on my couch? No. Definitely not. It just feels so over-engineered. Like, I'd way rather just have a small drinks table like this, because you can keep anything on there with no restrictions. I'd way rather eat crisps right interesting as opposed to measuring out a small portion into this tray and then washing the tray every time I want to change crisps. So very little effort saved, all things considered. Let's quickly check how our paneer is doing. Oh wow, this is so cool. So the robot is taking a snapshot of the pan every 40 or so seconds that I can remotely check from my phone. It's actually become a curry already. Early lunch is fine with me. Maybe you can relate to this. I mean, just as equally, maybe not. But for me, ironing has become such a time-consuming task that I even specifically try to buy clothes just because they require less of it. But that is where the shirt butler is apparently about to change things. A reimagining of the ironing concept that is falling apart as we speak. Oh goodness, not one of my smoother unboxings. But here, instead of putting the iron onto your clothes, you put your clothes onto the iron, which is actually one of 2 different balloons. So you'd use this one to iron your trousers, or...
No, this doesn't work.
Oh my god, actually looks ridiculous. I also feel like if someone saw this happening from the window, it would just look like I'm trying to drown someone. And then this one is for your shirts. which ironically looks like it needs an iron. So this is about as creased as a t-shirt gets. So you essentially dress your balloon, which to be fair is not as significant of a chore as it sounds. You then clip the pegs into the corners of your garment and go. So this is using hot air tension technology, which is effectively hot air plus the stretch created by the balloon. Okay, it's been 10 minutes and
there's still crease on the right arm.
You can still see some creases, it's not flawless, but it has done about 50% of the ironing for us, and I commend the innovation. So I have just made some hot dogs for lunch. It smells absolutely divine. But first, and easily the worst part of any barbecue, is the cleanup. Dealing with this is one of the few tasks that I would consider worse than ironing. And so I am seriously interested in what the lazy gods have blessed us with this time, the GrillBot 3.0, a robot with wheels made out of brushes. So it should be as simple as placing this on the grill, pressing that to turn it on. You set the amount of time that you want it to clean for, so let's do the full 30 minutes. Oh my God. That was fast. It doesn't look like it's using any cameras or external sensors, and I'm pretty sure if you don't close the lid on most barbecues, it will just brush its way right off the edges. But it will, apparently, notify me when it's done.
Oh.
The website doesn't actually say how, which is slightly alarming, but I guess we'll find out. That
maybe it will
satisfy the sausage. And now we've had it, why not throw the trash into the laziest person trash can in the world? From the company who calls themselves Air Deer for some reason. Okay, so it's got pretty responsive automatic lid opening, which is not a unique feature, but I have it on my bin and I use it all the time. Okay, let's try the flagship feature of this thing. So hold this button down. And so this is now a completely top to bottom sealed trash bag. It's sealed on that end and it's sealed on that end. So I never have to even look at my trash. You can actually smell the smoke from the heat sealing that it's using on this bag. Oh, and then now it should be replacing this bag with a brand new bag ready to use. That's insane. So it's actually using fans at the base of the trash can to pull the new bag into position so that it's completely filling the container.
Oh, boy, that.
It does kind of have it all. It's battery powered, so you can put it anywhere. The battery itself lasts for up to 180 days on a charge.
What's the price?
The bin refills here.
That's a big question.
20 bins in one bag.
$30,000.
So it's going to last you just as long, if not longer than the battery. You know what? Screw it. 90% effort saved. Where have you been all my life? You know, there was a day when sitting down and reading a book was considered a lazy day. Then we got e-readers, which can do our page turning for us and can store an entire library's worth of content in your handbag. And now we don't even have to hold anything, because the Sol glasses are supposedly the world's first wearable e-reader. Let's try it. Oh wow, the image feels massive. This is the cinema-style reading experience. And the very interesting thing about this, compared to, well, actually any other headset I've ever worn, is that these are e-ink displays, which are just lit from the sides with these soft, warm white LEDs. And it's a little bit strange because, in theory, that should make it really low eye strain. I think it's the fact that those displays are actually sitting like 2 centimeters from your eyeballs that isn't achieving that goal. My eyes would be more at rest if I was holding an e-reader, say, here. So can you feasibly use this while lying in bed right before you sleep? I mean, this feels like what it was designed for. You just hold this very strangely shaped remote in your hand and use that to control everything. Gotta say, not my favorite remote. It's like the fact that you can't see it means that you have to feel your way around it. So the buttons have to be very clearly separated and they're not. So it's very easy to press the wrong thing. And also like a surprising amount of effort to press. But actually the bigger thing is just resolution. Like each display in front of your eyes is 256 pixels by 256, which sounds like a lot for how small the screens are, but the total resolution is then far, far lower than like a high-end Kindle. And you can kind of see it on the E's and the Y's. The letters are not super well defined. And that's also limiting how many words you can fit on the page at once. So you're actually going to have to be turning pages like 3 times as often with this. Okay, but this is where the Sol glasses truly separate themselves from any other e-reader. You can ask them questions about anything you're reading and it'll use AI to give you the answer. So it pulls open a whole load of different pre-made questions and then you select one of them, I guess. Okay, then you have to select which pages of the book you're referring to. Oh God, this is like the clunkiest form of AI that probably exists in 2025. There is no way that people are using these features on a regular basis. The only other thing is this autopilot mode. Ooh, Ooh, that is cool. So it's shading out line by line to make sure that I'm only paying attention to the sentence that needs to be. So it's training me to read faster by making the old sentences that are done disappear. Oh, and then it also turns the pages for you. That is kind of nice. It means I don't have to deal with this freaking remote. I gotta say, a face-mounted e-reader with a tool-assisted speedrun mode was not high on my bingo card for this year, but I don't think overall that makes much sense at all for most people. Apparently our paneer is done. Oh my God, that's actually bonkers to think that.
But is that the price of the machine?
It's just a couple
That's
of ingredients
not
in
expensive.
containers. And now, it actually looks
I
exactly
thought that's going to be cost like
I had a certain expectation
$4,000
in my mind of what
something.
would happen when I left
Pounds.
the robot completely unattended to cook my meal for me, and this is not that. Oh wow. That is restaurant quality paneer. The paneer feels like it's cooked perfectly. It's just the right level of soft. Considering this is max spiciness, it's actually quite mild, but just enough that it makes your mouth water. And the sauce has like a little bit too much cream for an average home-cooked meal, but makes it taste damn good. Are you happy with your paneer tikka masala? Yeah, 5 stars for the meal itself. But as impressive as that all is, would I actually buy one of these machines? Probably not. It's very expensive. Plus, there is an extra subscription cost if you want more than the basic 50 recipes. And in the future, that subscription will also let you import ones from the internet.
Oh,
which is,
wait, hang on.
Very cool that it can do that. But then, why would that feature need to be paywalled? But I think the main thing here is the thing that really takes up the majority of your time when you're cooking is the buying of all the ingredients, the prepping and the chopping of all of them, and then the washing up afterwards. And this doesn't really save on
It's like add-ons.
It's actually kind of doing the one somewhat
The thing is not
as
expensive, but the add-ons make it expensive.
What I'm hoping is that they can find a way to offer a higher tier of subscription, but that also includes all of the pre-measured out portions of ingredients, drop into these containers and just let the robot handle your entire cooking for the week. The robot is not for me, but it does feel like the smartest iteration of robot does some cooking-related task for human that I've ever seen. So that's lunch number 2 down.
Ice cream maker, what's that?
And providing that is the Ninja Swirl, the company's upgraded ice cream machine that can apparently turn anything into soft serve.
$350.
Oh, it's a little more top heavy than I was expecting. So the main event here is the creamerizer, which sounds about one step away from being a Dr. Doofenshmirtz invention. But it's essentially just these rotating paddles that continuously aerate your frozen mixture, which is how it's apparently going to turn this block of ice looking thing into smooth, creamy soft serve. So one thing that I will say about this, I constantly see these machines being shown in TikToks, like my 2-ingredient ice cream that takes 30 seconds to make. But it's not that simple. You first got to blend your ingredients. I've gone for literally just banana and milk for mine. Then you got to freeze it all. And you have to do this the night before, which is, I guess, why mine's gone a little bit browner than I'd like for a banana ice cream. I guess the banana doesn't freeze instantly, so it's gonna oxidize. And then you've got to creamerize that frozen mixture. It does sound nice, though, clicking it all into place. And then this in itself is also a multi-step process that takes about 4 minutes. Now, you take out the container, you attach the other dispensing lid, you mount it onto this entirely separate part of the machine, nozzle goes to open, and then finally, ice cream. So it's essentially using a press to force the ice cream out the nozzle. Look at that, though. What? I can't quite believe that it's achieved this level of texture.
No, I'm so over by that thing. I like ice cream.
Yeah, that's kind of insane. It's just banana and milk, but it's smooth, it's creamy, it's not very icy, which I expected it to be. This one really tears me up because that outcome is absolutely unparalleled. The effort required to
make any ice cream
so high that I can't see myself using it on a regular basis. It would have to be for at least 4 people for it to be worth all of this washing up and pre-prep. So I kind of rate this product. Plus it can do sorbets, it can do milkshakes, and it can do mix-ins. So you could have nuts sprinkled in that it specifically mixes and not pulverizes. But it's not a lazy product. It's actually kind of the opposite. So much work has to go into it. Ah! What if you get ice cream on your window? So let's create 2 zones here. So the top area, I'm gonna cover in smudges. Think of this like level 1. Okay, I promise, I put butter on my hands before I did this, just so you don't think I'm some sort of grease monster. And then the bottom is level 2, when you're in too deep. And it's all to find out if the $600 Ecovacs W2 Omni can save us. This is meant to be the robot for cleaning your windows for you. And I've gotta say, it is looking promising. They really have thought of a clever way of keeping everything together. So like, for example, this is the robot. It sits inside this suitcase, and when you want to use it, just hold it against a window and it suctions itself to it with apparently 8 different hardware-based fall protection measures. Then that's connected to the suitcase via a cable that can coil itself inside to keep it tidy and untangled. Then there's also a mains plug that you can keep permanently inside of here and a battery for 110 minutes of cleaning when you're away from the power source. Oh, look, so you can see the first thing it does is goes right into the top corner so that it can methodically work its way down. Oh wait, that's the Grillbot. The alarm's going off.
You watch it like
so that's
beep,
how it
beep,
notifies
beep,
you.
beep.
Elegant. As for how well this is cleaned, by the way, I would say pretty well. It's like the entire top layer has been scrubbed very thoroughly, but it hasn't done a very good job when it comes to the sides. It kind of feels like I hired someone from Fiverr to do the cleaning. This is the result I would expect. It's definitely saved me some time, and it's great that you can just pop these brushes straight into the dishwasher, but there is still work to be done here before you can just leave this. Oh my God. What? That's like the cleanest this window has ever been. That I was not expecting. So level 1, it has absolutely flown past. Level 2, it's doing a lot more smearing. So it's got a 3-nozzle wide-angle atomization spray that's meant to dissolve dirt on your window before it mops it over. It's also really cool how it gets right into the edges and the corners. I guess that's the benefit of them making it a square. So I would genuinely say, to my surprise, 80% effort saved. It's absolutely impeccable when it comes to the lighter grease, and it's just the heavier stuff that it's going to need a bit of help with. But then, how often do you fall into your window with ice cream? The thing that's surprising me most about this video is someone has tried to come up with a solution for every single chore, but this has to be the most over-engineered one to exist. This is the $1,439 smart duvet that makes your bed for you.
Imagine that.
Box look like an Xbox Kinect. So you set this box up at the base of your bed, and this system serves 2 purposes. One is a very similar ability to the 8 sleep beds, which can heat and cool each side individually. But instead of pumping temperature-controlled water around the bed, this pumps air. So I've set this side, for example, to its highest possible temperature.
I know it's a duvet, but
fine. It feels a little on the warm side. And this is the cold side. Okay, you can feel the difference, but definitely far less of a temperature range than 8 sleep. This is about a 7 degrees Celsius max difference between the 2 sides. 8 sleep can do 30. They do also say that just the action of sending air into your bed oxygenates it, which reduces the irritation on your skin caused by sweat because the humidity is lower. And then to top the whole thing off, the unit even has ambient lighting, which is like proper 16 million colors, the whole shebang, and even aromatherapy. So you take this filter out of the back of the unit, and then by soaking this foam in the oil of your choice, it effectively use the fans it already has on the inside to blow through it and spread that scent. It's very much giving me jack of all trades vibes. But this is what we're really here for. Bed making, start. I don't really know what to expect here. Oh, it's inflating. This is actually really clever how it works. They've got a thin inflatable sheet that goes across the entire duvet. So by pumping air into that inflatable sheet, it effectively stretches the rest of the duvet so it has to conform to its full shape, which is flat. Okay, this is probably the single coolest automation we've seen so far. Oh my God. No, that is actually hotel quality finish. And then once it's reached this finished state, it will just take the air out again so it settles. It's a very left field solution to the problem, but my God, is that clever. So to be very clear, this is not an 8 sleep killer. The temperature control is not as good. The product itself doesn't feel as high quality, but the one thing that it is designed to do differently, it does so well.
I don't think
I would
that's
still give it a 50%.
I'm very picky about my bed.
There is one final
like making
pillar
up
of
my
laziness
bed.
that we haven't yet covered. It's like the single most obvious one. I have been standing for like 50% of this video. Unacceptable, but no more, because this is the Chairless Chair 2.0. Yes, over $2,500 to be able to sit on command. It's actually not as heavy as it looks. The whole thing is like 3 kilograms. So strap myself in at the waist, right thigh, left thigh. But this is the cool bit. Now the whole thing snaps into my shoes, and it really looks like I should be able to kick a brick wall down with this. But what I can really do...
Oh!
Yes, please.
That looks like it's uncountable.
So it's not flawless. You kind of have to treat it with a little bit of care. You kind of want to make sure both legs are fully extended before you put your weight on the thing. But if you do that,
And also it must be like a weight limit or something. I have no
but
idea.
30% tensing my core as hard as I can so I don't tip over backwards again. And yeah, it's kind of cool how spontaneous you can be with the thing. Like now I'm walking, I can go this way, now I can decide to sit again. I just can't wrap my head around why it costs as much as it does, considering what it actually is when you break it down. As a general concept though, yeah, I could get used to this life. Subscribe so that I can carry on sitting here. And now for the Hall of Fame winner. Oh, do you know what? It's not going to fit on the shelves. And we
that one for me was the best.
Anyway. Okay, tell you what, you can actually do one better than Hall of Fame. You can become useful. Well played, Air Dear. Well played.